Hey y'all, this is the Vegan Trap Goddess, and I'm here to show you a tutorial on how I made this lion's mane crab cake from scratch. I made it how I wanted to make it, but you can make it however you want to make it. Put whatever you want in it, and hopefully it turns out the same. So, let's begin. The first things I added were onion, lemon, scallion, parsley, rich crackers, garbanzo beans for the aquafaba. Of course, the star of the show was the lion's mane, vegan mayo, Grey Poupon, salt, Old Bay, because I'm from Maryland, dillweed, celery salt, onion powder, red pepper for a nice little kick, black pepper, nori fukaka seasoning to give it that fish taste, smoked paprika, vegan Worcestershire sauce, and Caribbean fish seasoning just to give it a little bit of fishy seasoning. Now, parts of this recipe I got from my great aunt who got a recipe book from my grandmother who put all my great grandmother's recipe books together. So I mixed that up with some of the things that I saw on Instagram and the internet to make this lion's mane crab cake. Now you saw me cutting up my scallion. Now I'm cutting up parsley, which is also a major component in every Maryland crab cake, at least in my mom's house and in my grandmother's house. Onions as well, just to give it a nice flavor. Now, although I hate cutting these onions, okay, you might see me stop a few times because my eyes are watering. You know, you gotta go stick your head in the freezer and everything. So, but also check out these cutting skills with this knife I have for years. But I'm cutting them onions up and it's looking real good, real official. Now I'm going to make the quote-unquote breadcrumbs, but I'm going to smash all of the rich crackers, just a cup worth. And you see me doing a real messy job getting stuff everywhere, but I don't care. I'm going to try to keep it in the cup. I'm going to try to keep it, okay? But it doesn't always work out that way. But as you can see, I'm grinding it up really fine so that we can mix it in with our crab cake later. Halfway through, my hands did catch a cramp and it was getting real tired, okay? Real tired, but I made it and it's looking good now. Now, I wanted to put zucchini on the side and I cut up these zucchini. You can use whatever side you want. You can do French fries, corn on the cob, whatever you want, pasta, rice. But me, I'm going to do some zucchini. So I cut these zucchini up. And I love cabbage. Cabbage to me, it goes with everything. So I made sure I cut some cabbage so I could put it on the side as well to go with this lion's mane crab cake. So for my binder, I'm using the aquafaba that comes from canned chickpeas. Everybody's binder is different. Some people use eggs, some people use flaxseed for the vegans, but I'm going to try this with aquafaba this time. Now, most mushrooms come with a piece on the bottom of where they were attached, like a little stump. So you can just cut those off because you don't need those. And they're pretty hard, and I'm pretty sure they don't taste good or they might be hard to chew. Now this part may seem a little bit tedious, but this is how we get our lion's mane to resemble the crab cake. You have to pull it apart, and it's pretty easy to pull apart. it does take a while. So you'll be here for a second, so make sure you put on some good music and just vibe out while you're trying to get your lion's mane to resemble crab cake pieces. And now I'm all done, and this is the result. And it looks amazing. So this is kind of like a binder sauce that I'm making, where I use the mayonnaise, Grey Poupon, and the aquafaba to make a slurry so that the lion's mane can bind together into a crab cake shape. I also added the parsley here, spring onion, and regular onions. You can mix in however much you want. It's up to you and your taste buds and your flavor. But make sure that after you put everything in there, you mix it together very well so there's no lumps in the sauce. So one thing I've been doing before I even became vegan or plant-based was to season very well my food. So you can put whatever seasonings you want to flavor your lion's mane. As you can see, I put a whole bunch of seasoning just because I wanted to still be true to the Maryland in me, but also give it a fishy, unique flavor. And you have to make sure that you put a lot of seasoning because lion's mane soaks all of that up. And just make sure after you add all your seasonings to the lion's mane, you give it a good mix to incorporate the seasoning into the crab cakes. You see, I'm using my hands. You can use a spatula. You can use whatever you would like to use, but me, I'm going to use my hands. And now you can see that with the seasoning mixed in, the lion's mane looks good. Now, we have to incorporate the slurry that I made earlier. Make sure you use a whisk, a spatula, or your hands and incorporate that slurry into the lion's mane. Now, you can add as much slurry or omit as much slurry as you would like. I added 3/4 of the mixture I had just to incorporate it to see what the consistency would be like. And as you can see right here, I added the rest of that because I didn't think that it was wet enough, and we still have to add in our breadcrumbs. And as you can see while I'm mixing it, that is looking more like crab mix every time I add an ingredient. So here we're adding our breadcrumbs. Just mix it up with the same spatula and incorporate that in there very well. You can mix whatever you would like to put in there. Maybe you might want more mayonnaise, more mustard, more Worcestershire, but it's totally up to you because this is your crab cake. You're going to flavor how you would like to, and I flavor how I would like to. So here I'm making the crab cakes, putting them into balls, and then plopping them into the refrigerator for 30 minutes to an hour. You want to make sure that your aquafaba is set into your crab cake so they don't fall apart in the cooking process. And I'm going to tell you now, one of mine did. And this is how the crab cakes look coming out of the refrigerator after an hour. So I heated up a cast iron skillet and I added some vegan butter, and I put the crab cakes into the pan while it was very hot. Now, one thing I can say about butter is that it tends to darken in a cast iron, so maybe next time I'll use oil. But as you can see, when you let them sit for a little while, they do start getting brown, and I do have to move my butter around because the middle part is getting darker, and we don't want our crab cakes to burn because then I'm gonna be mad. Okay, I do not like burnt food. Okay, and as you can see, one of my crab cakes did break, but of course this is trial and error, and I'm not perfect, and they still came out good. As you can see, the lion's mane crab cakes are looking good, and when I tell you they were smelling good, I could not wait to get them out of the pan so I could taste some. Yes, I'm in here flipping them, whipping them up, because that's what I do in the trap house, vegan trap goddess. And I show you a little slide of my cabbage. Not yet ready, but it's looking good, okay? And this is the finished product, okay? Lion's mane crab cake with cabbage and zucchini.